name is Sky and welcome back to my channel. Sorry I haven't put out any videos in the past 2 weeks almost. As you can kind of probably tell, I've had a cold, I've had family in for Thanksgiving. It's just been a busy couple of weeks and I'm sorry. So today I thought I'd talk a little bit about how I take notes then when I was in anatomy and how I take notes now while I'm in physics. So when I was in anatomy, we had a big book that I could just kind of like jot my notes down and stuff like that. And he didn't print out the slides for us, so if we wanted to see them, we just had to like look at the board and then we could write our own separate notes. And it followed along pretty well with the book. So that's why I like to write my notes in the book, because we didn't have like a sheet of paper. I sit in the back typically because I just like to sit in the back of the room kind of by myself. I'm just a little bit shy and antisocial that way. So it made it a little bit hard for me to be able to see the board from where I sat. So I got by cheap, still not really cheap. I got a kind of cheaper HP computer. It's plastic. It's not like the most rugged computer, and it has the worst memory because it has like 36 gigabytes, I think, for this. And I do have a Mac desktop. That's what I use for most of my things, like editing videos and doing school projects or anything like that. I pretty much just use that computer. So this was just something I could take to class, so I could take notes. So I could open it up, go to the website, and download the slides, and then I could edit on the side and just put notes. So each slide I could put like a little note next to it of anything he had brought up that was really important or anything like that. And I kind of wanted something that was a little bit on the cheaper side, so that if my backpack got stolen, if it got damaged in there or anything, because I'm not careful. I'm pretty clumsy, and it's not that I don't care about my things, it's just that I fall and trip and drop and spill water on many things. So I've learned that if I'm going to carry it around with me, it should be a little bit cheaper, and if it's going to stay in its home, like the computer on my desk, where it's not going to move a whole lot, I could spend a little bit more money and have something that's a little bit nicer. So I took this to class and would do all my notes on that. And that way also I could open it and see the slides, since I can't see that far away. And then I bought this little Toshiba external hard drive. And this, I think, is, does it say? It was like 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes. It's quite a lot of memory. So this I could plug into this and be able to download, take my notes, and save it on here, because this, I can't really save anything on here because there's so little memory that a couple of slides and everything would be filled. Like, I can't even do my updates on this one. So I have everything that's important on this, and I could plug this into the back of my Mac and then just view everything from there. So I have all of like my projects and the slides and everything saved on here, so I can just transfer it back and forth between computers, and this can come to class with me. This, if you have bubble wrap, I would wrap it in bubble wrap, or in, I don't really think I could show you, but I have one of those backpacks that are from Jansport that I got from Tilly's that was on sale. It's got the slot in the back where it's got the one for the computer and then the one for the tablet. I just kind of like will wrap this in a scarf or bubble wrap or something that's a little bit more padded and stick that in the tablet sleeve. So that way I can take both of these to class with me. Since starting physics, we have a lot of different books, and while he kind of follows the books that we were given on the lectures, they don't follow as directly as my anatomy slides did, and it's hard to find the slides online. Like, I've tried going to what week we're in and then downloading the slides and then opening them, And they were slides from like 2 weeks past, or we never did those, and stuff like that. So I don't rely on those slides. So he luckily does. Should have been a little bit more prepared. Luckily he does print them out for us. There are no pictures, so that does kind of suck. I did when we first started physics, I used to like take notes just in a notebook. Not this one. I don't remember where my old one went, but I just take notes like you normally would. Because all of the slides on the sheet are numbered. See if you can see there. Because all of them are numbered on the side of what slide they are, I could write like the date, and then I would write slide, I'd just like 7 on the side, and then I'd write the little note that went along with that slide. So I know which note went with what slide, because I don't like just looking through my notebook and then going, what was this referring to, or what did this connect to? So about a couple of weeks into class, I switched from that notebook. I did try out this Rocket book, and I really did like this. The Rocket book's really cool. I don't have anything written in it, but let me show you how it works. So as long as you have these, which are the Pilot Friction erasable pens, you can kind of just write anything on here, and you can't push too hard because these sheets of like paper, I think, are coated so that you can erase off of them, but they still kind of write like paper. So you can, sorry, I can't write and talk at the same time. So you can just write kind of like a little message. I think you can see that it's in, I chose a horrible color, but you could just write like a little message on there. Give it 10 seconds to dry, and then it's stuck there. So they have a little app on your phone that you can use, and let me open the app. And on the bottom, you can't see it because my camera can't focus really well, but you kind of see like these little things. Well, it's like the Rocket book symbol and a diamond, an apple, a bell, a 4-leaf clover, a diamond, or I mean a star, not a diamond, I already did that one, and a horseshoe. So those you can link up in the app to mean specific things, like the diamond is my Google Drive. So I could just put a little X over the diamond, scan a picture of the page with the app, and then it would save them. And then you can kind of focus on this, not my face. You kind of see I can just scroll through my all of the notes that I have. Now the problem I had with these was the same problem I have with the notebook, is I don't have the notes and the slide pages in the same place. So I can find them, but they're not together. And then they give you this little towel that's microfiber, and you just have to get it a little bit wet, maybe a little bit more than that. It's not even getting wet. I'm putting it in my water cup because my cat already stuck her nose in it, and I don't want to drink out of it anymore. So you get it like a little bit wet, and get this to an angle where you can see it. Maybe this way. Maybe where there's not light shining on. There we go. There we go, Sky. And you could just wipe it clean so everything comes off, and then just dry it with the other part of the towel, and then let it dry for a couple of seconds, and then you can write more notes on here. So it's great. It comes with 36 pages in total. My only problem was that it then saved them online and on the app, so I didn't have them where I could stick them together. So I don't use that a whole lot anymore. I will use it from time to time, but my favorite method at the moment that I've been using, which you kind of saw a little bit of, seems a bit crazy, I know it seems crazy, but it makes sense in my head, so it's whatever. So this is my notes. This is the first page. And as you can see, there's multiple colored, this way. Nope, this way works better for this. There's multiple different colors on here. That's because they have little boxes next to the number for slide. So I would just I have multiple colored pens, and I'll just kind of use like the red pen and just color in that little box, and then all of the notes that I write that are in red refer to that section. So like this one on the top, this is referring to hemodynamics. So everything on the entire top half of the page is just in reference to the hemodynamics, to this one slide. And then this one just has like a couple of little notes where there's a couple of green things, and this one's red. And then we got down to the bottom and I was like, oh, we probably don't have a whole lot. And then we had a whole bunch. So they kind of like spilled out over here and went all around. And that's just been kind of my favorite way of taking notes. Let's see if there's one that's a little bit more crazy. I mean, it looks like a crazy person is writing notes all over their page, but it makes sense. So just what's in here just refers to this, because I started writing the rest of my notes in the same color by accident, because he kept talking and then he's like, oh, well, this is actually in reference to this thing. And I was like, oh. So I just put like lines around here like a bubble. So this is all just in reference to this, and then everything else around it is to the one below it. And then all of the red is for this one. So this makes sense to my brain. I realize this may not make sense to other people's brains, but it's whatever works for you. It's whatever makes your notes easier. I do also have this thing running through my notes. I have like these little pink stars. I have them there. I don't really have any more in these notes, but throughout all of my notes I have little things that I've written in pink, or I put a little star, and those things are specific to, we have to take a licensing test, specifically one that works with how the machine works, which through ARDMS is the licensing company. Through them, we have to take an SBI, which is, I don't remember what those words actually or what those letters stand for, but it's, do you know how the machine works? So that's why we have to learn all this physics, because that's what's preparing us for that test. And then you have to take another portion of that, and then you have to take another portion, which is your specialty, which is abdomen, vascular, or OBGYN. So you have those two, and then together, then you can get your license through the one company is ARDMS in the state of California that I know. I think there's at least one more. I will have to do some more research. I do plan on doing a video one day about how to get your licensing, especially in the state of California, because that's the state that I'm in and I know the most about. But I'm still working on finding out all the information to put that video together. So I don't want to do that until I know enough. So all of the things that I've written in pink are specifically related to things that he's pointed out are good things to know for the test to get my licensing. So everything in pink throughout my entire notebook is basically just like it's just my way of reminding my brain, like, hey, this is specifically important so you can pass your SBI. So I don't use pink for anything else except that. As you go through the class and you're learning, you'll find a way that you like to organize your notes and have things have your things in a specific way that makes sense to your brain and makes it a little bit easier. This just works for me. These are my way of taking notes. Maybe this will help you in how you want to take notes. Maybe you have a completely different way of taking notes. Let me know in the comment section below, and maybe you'll teach me something. Maybe this taught you something. Maybe we can help each other. Alright, have a wonderful day. Bye.